Hi, my name's Tim. I like making things, and this weekend I've been busy in the garage making this charcoal-fueled hibachi grill, and I'm going to show you how to make one too. So to make this project, I went to the remnants bay at my local steel yard and I picked up a piece of 6-inch Schedule 40 pipe, a leftover cut off of an I-beam that I'm going to use for the legs, a piece of expanded metal, and then I'm going to use a scrap piece of 1/4-inch plate that I've had laying around for end caps, and a piece of 1/2-inch angle iron to make a frame around the grill.
I'm going to use the seam weld on the pipe to align the cut from both sides, but I don't want to cut right on the seam weld, so I'm making a mark about 5 inches around the pipe. I do this on both sides and then go ahead and draw a line using a scrap piece of material. I'm using this combination square with a right angle attachment to make a mark directly opposite on the pipe, and I'll do this on both sides so I can draw a line exactly opposite. I'm cutting this pipe with an angle grinder and a cutoff wheel, and this worked pretty well, but I finished the job with my plasma cutter. But if all you have is a grinder, it's definitely possible. It just takes a little bit longer. Okay, now that the pipe is split, I'm marking out my I-beam 3 inches from each end to make 2 legs. Go ahead and cut along the lines with my plasma cutter. Now that I've got the 2 legs cut out, I'm going to work on my end caps. What I'm doing is I'm using the rolled edge of my plate and lining the top of my split pipe up with it and marking all the way around. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut it out with my plasma cutter. Because the charcoal needs some air to breathe, I'm going to cut off the bottom of these end caps about 1.5 inches up. I make 2 marks 1.5 inches from the top, and then draw a line between the 2. You could also make these caps by using some 1.5 inch wide flat bar. Now that all the pieces are cut out, I'm going to dress the edges with a grinder and make them all nice. Then I'll tack my end cap on 4 locations. Now that that's there, I'm going to go ahead and make some marks to place the legs on the bottom. I'll scribe a line at bottom dead center of the grill and make a mark 4 inches in from each side. Next, I'll go ahead and tack these on with a light tack, just eyeball straight. Now that I've got them on there eyeball straight, I'll flip the grill over and line everything up, make sure that it's nice and square on my table. Then tap it around if necessary. Okay, well, it's ready and lined up. I'm going to go ahead and place 2 more heavy tacks on to keep it from moving around while I weld the legs all the way around. Now I flipped it over, weld all the way around the legs. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip it on its side so I have a nice horizontal position to make my outside corner joint. Now I'm going to cut a piece of expanded metal to hold the charcoal. I'm measuring the bottom of my end cap and then drawing a line across the expanded metal at that same length. Now I'm going ahead and cutting that piece out, and fortunately this expanded metal is the same length as the pipe that I got, about 24 inches. I'll go ahead and dress the cuts on that, make them nice and smooth. the grinder. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a frame around the grill. I cut the long pieces to about 1/8 of an inch longer than the grill itself. The short pieces I cut about 3/8 of an inch longer than the width, or the short end. And I put them together so it makes a nice corner joint. Rather than a miter joint, I like to align my angle iron frames with a notch, like so. Well, I've got it tacked up and it seems to fit okay. So I'll weld it out, cut a piece of expanded metal to fit just inside, just the same way we cut that expanded metal before. And I'll place tack welds around it, starting in the center and working my way out.
After a little finish grinding, the hibachi is finally complete. We've got the main body here, the smaller piece of expanded metal that we cut to hold our charcoal and make sure that we get good airflow, and our grill top. The grill is all finished, and I'm going to go ahead and try it out. I cleaned it off to get rid of any dirt or oils that we had left over from making it. And the first thing I'm going to do is take out the bottom expanded metal, put in 2 paraffin cubes over towards the end so I can reach them with my stick lighter, right side by side. Then set the expanded metal right on top. And I am going to be using lump charcoal today to get some nice, good, even heat. So I just make a nice little pile of it over on this end, right on top of my paraffin cubes. Just like that. Then I'll go ahead and put a stick lighter in through the end, light the paraffin cubes, and wait a little bit. The charcoal's been heating up for about 5 minutes, and we got another 5 minutes or so to go before it's ready to cook on. So it's all ready. The coals are nice and white, and I can put my hand over it for about 2 seconds before it's too hot. Just how I want it for some nice direct heat.
Well, it looks like lunch is ready, so I'm going to let you go. Thanks for joining me today.